In the wintertime, being it's such a wide opening on the bottom, I might want to close that up so it just hinges up and latches. Close it up. I've had some troubles with this roof. Here I just dropped it again. I got to redesign this a little bit. It's nice with two people, but nobody's really geared up. So.
Oh, I see. Oh, cool. Got it. I get it.
Still in the planning stages. My son once said, why don't you just put a hinge to the side? But I was afraid if I did that the wind might catch it too much. So sometimes the wind does blow pretty hard down around here.
How long have you had this one?
I built it last winter. I had this spring. I bought the carnelian and put into it. Okay, and I got 3 covers inside of this thing here. They really stick fast.
What kind of bees are in here?
These are canolians.
Yeah, the dark
You can
ones.
see some Italians in here. And basically what I do, if I feel they need room, I'll slide it back and put another frame up here where they had most of the brood. Or I'll add another one to the back. I've got a following board back here. I had one in the back, and they're building comb back there too. Now this is one of my foundationless frames. I make the frame, and you can pass it out, there's no bees on it. And I put a groove onto it, and a little wax along that V groove, so that they have a guide for building the comb, same as in the top bar hives. And let them build their own. Now that works great as long as you don't have a couple of them next to foundationless or new foundation.
Yep.
Because they will build a disc-shaped fat comb out the side, and then you got two frames out at once. Like I say, I'm still in this learning experience. I'm going to dig a little deeper in this one here. Like I say, I haven't been in this, and I really don't know how long. I just want to see if they have any stores. This is another problem. I put this crossbar on here, and you got to work stuff under it. It does have clearance, but it's a little heavy. They must have some storage into it. They must have some in the middle. Yeah, they got one side here is a little about half full of capped honey. Like I said, I put this nuke in here and 2 frames of honey from one that had collapsed over the winter, and said, you're on your own, bees. If you're supposed to be good bees, do your own thing. I have not powdered, have not fed them since. I have not done any medication. And you can see they're quite docile in this, almost like a top bar hive. Now they've got capped honey in the top of this one. So they do have some honey. Now whether they're going to have enough to get them through the winter or not, I hope they get a little flow so they can stock up there.
How would you honey super this thing? Put another layer on top?
Yeah, you can. The design of this, you can just take one of these covers off, put a honey super on top of it, and use that for honey super. or you can come in here and take the frames of honey out and replace it with empties. There's capped brood, larva.
Not a lot though.
I don't want to bring it out over the top because in case the queen happens to be on there. There's your real young larvae and stuff. You know, one thing about these carnelians, I have not been able to find a queen yet.
Me either.
I have not found a queen yet.
You ever order them more?
Now, Bob Oppenheimer says that they are big and black. Now there's looks like some eggs in here, young larvae, so the queen ought to be here someplace. But I'll be darned if I see her. She might be on the next one there somewhere. But the middle of that's all real young larvae, and I think under towards the top some eggs. Maybe you can get out here in the light and get some more in there if you want.
So Roger, if you were going to feed this one, you feed it with your chicken feeder inside?
No, I'd put a frame feeder in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd put a frame feeder in it. I don't see no queen. I mean, there's young larvae and stuff there, so there's a queen in here working somewhere. Now, this is my drone frame that I put in here. I did cut a hunk of drone out of this one time, but I think it was one of the other frames. This is that drone frame in case any of you haven't seen it. And these are regular size cells here, so they didn't use this for drone. They just put regular into it.
Mine on the top, they built from the frame next to it over into the top, but they built comb down the bottom.
Yeah.
Let's see, queen.
Ain't none either.
Some people use drone frames and make extra drone because they attract the raw mites. And then they take it out, they stick it in the freezer, kill everything, and then they put it back.
Well, this style frame here is actually designed, you put foundation in this top piece, and put this in. The object is they'll store their honey up here for their brood, the way they normally do, build their drone brood down here. If you put this frame alongside of your brood, that's normally what they'll do because they need a place to build the larger cells for the drone. So usually they'll do that. And all you gotta do is pull this out when they got a cap. They say put 2 into a hive. So after they got this capped good, you just take a knife, cut this out, give it to the birds, put this back in, and they'll replenish it.
Are you using drone foundation?
No, they build it out.
Their own.
Okay, you're letting them draw their own foundation.
All I do is put foundation at the top. They fill the rest of it out.
Okay, they'll make it. They'll
Yep.
make it mostly drones then.
I like this hive in a way because of the docility of it. They're not even bothering anybody. And that's the way the top bar hives usually are. There's a lot of cap brood here. Still can't find no queen. These drones have carnelian queens sure are elusive. Like I say, I've got 2 hives. I've only been into this one about 3 times. The other one I've been into several times, and I looked through that one up there 3 times one day. Could not find a queen. Now there's larvae and everything else on this frame here. A lot of capped brood.
Do you ever consider marking the queen?
I may start practicing on drone one of these days.
Yeah, it really makes it a lot easier.
I know. The only marked queen I have is one from last year that I put in that trap out hive.
Yeah.
And we took her out of the hive this year, and because we went in there and there was a bunch of, I'm not going any farther. The queen's in there working. They've got some honey stored, so I'm not going to bother the rest of it. They've got more room to work. They got room to store. So I'm going to let them go back to their thing. Like I said, the only queen I've got marked is one, that next hive up, what we call the trap out hive, from last year. That I'm going to put this one in here between these drawn ones here. And we went in there and there was a bunch of some queen cells. So he took the queen out and a couple frames of brood and put it into a nuke and left them requeen themselves. And then when we went in there to check, and we actually found out there was like 15 queen cells. See, that's too many queen cells for one hive, so I took a couple more splits out. So I got some other colonies out of that one hive.
Roger, you worried about this one being light going into the winter? Because if you look at it, you think you'd want 20 frames, right?
I would like to see some more, and I hope that they do get a flow from the goldenrod. But the carnelians are supposed to winter with a little lighter stuff, and like I say, I'm going to let them do their own thing. When I decide to try this type of a hive, I decided I was going to let them go on their own, and by darn, that's what I'm going to stick to and do. And to me, this is a very nice, yeah, if you would, very nice, healthy. I'm sorry, let go. Hive. They've done their thing pretty well. I would like to see them a little bit more. They've gone through quite a drought. But I'm happy with them. I'm happy with this hive. The only thing I don't like is my roof configuration yet, which I may do some more modifications on. I may close up this door for winter. Yeah. Because it's such a large opening. I definitely wouldn't have the whole thing open. I do have a 5/8 hole for top entrance on the end here. It's a learning experience. I come into this thing trying to learn more about bees. I learn more every year, but I still want to try to let them do their own thing. I know they've got a lot of enemies out there, with the varroa mites especially. This roofing material, by the way, is paneling for bathroom. You warm it up a little bit, it's nice and flexible, should be fairly durable. The other ones on the top bar over there, I used some old soffit vinyl that I had. You say, if some of you don't want to walk all the way, you can put it on the tailgate, or I can move some of the...
His name is Roger?
Roger, yeah. Gares.
Okay, he's not the bee
On the other
instructor
side.
guy.
Nope.
Okay.
Roger, on your hives, did you use the measurements off of Langstroth?
As far as the width and stuff?
Width and all that? Yeah.
Yeah, they're regular Langstroth frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you measured the width of the
Yeah.
box and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Height and all that.
Thanks, Roger.
Cool, thank
Gotta
you.
run myself.